Welcome back, Rankers. Slightly different angle this week to the office, as you can see, and Steve Waugh is looking over us in the background. The reason for that is because it's night time and I forgot to bring in my lights, and I'm using my iMac as the soft lighting. So thank you once again, Apple. What I wanted to tell you about this week is a couple of things. If you go following up on the whole video marketing side of things. If you go and type Melbourne fishing into Google and then just click on the video link instead of search, click on video instead. Have a look at that. That's interesting. We dominate the video pages for Melbourne fishing, even though we weren't trying to, which tells me that video marketing is a great way to get a message out to a lot of people quickly. Excellent if you're in the PR business or in the product announcement business. Really good for that sort of thing. But also just getting a general message out. I wanted to follow up on a couple of case studies that we talked about earlier in the year. The first one is a company called Red Hill Spa. Hello, Lisa. Best massages on the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria and Australia. But when they opened, they didn't do any offline advertising. So there was no traditional yellow pages. There was no local newspapers, none of that sort of thing. What they did is that we optimised their site. In their case, we actually built their site as well. We don't usually build sites, but back then they needed a hand, so we built it for them. And we optimised it for very select key phrases of a market that she was trying to target. Now, as soon as they got onto that front page of Google for their targeted phrases, they had to employ, Lisa says she had to double her staff when that happened, and that was about a month to 2 months after they opened their doors. And they couldn't rely that much on passing trade because, of course, it's in Red Hill, which, if you know Red Hill, it's semi-rural, you would say, and you'd probably say it better than what I just could. But the other thing that they found is that when people were making bookings over the internet, or they'd found them via Google, they actually ended up spending more than the person who just knew of them from driving past or hearing about them from a friend. People that found them in Google were spending more with them. And when you think about it, it's because, I guess, someone who's planning that sort of thing and in Google, and is looking for that sort of thing in Google, they are going to take advantage of researching it a bit more. They can have, if they're looking at the business's website, there's full information to what other products and services they offer there. So the chances are they are going to spend more with you. But what you need to consider as a business is your cost of acquisition for your leads. How much are you paying to get your leads? And if you don't know that, you probably should work that out. So to work that out, what are your current marketing costs, advertising costs, and how many leads do you get for those costs? In one case, we had a client who remained nameless because she said if I ever told anybody this, she'd kill me, and I think she probably could, so I'm not going to. But she was paying around $170 per lead. That's what a lead was worth to her. Now, her average sale price was $5,000 for the product that she was selling. So you'd say, well, it's not too bad, $170. Over a 6-month period, we got that down to $3.85. That is how powerful search marketing is. And that's what you need to consider when you're doing your marketing. Just keep in mind that people out there are actually looking for your product or service right now. Okay, they don't know you exist. You just have to get in front of them, and the quickest and easiest way to do that is via Google. So when you go and look at other marketing options, here's how we look at things to try to work out whether it's going to be a viable job or not. Look at what are you currently paying per lead? What's an acceptable amount to pay per lead? Then look at what is your average sale? And then look at what will your close rate be, or what is your close rate. So if you get 10 leads, of those 10 leads, how many of those do turn into sales? And once you work out that, you can start to get an idea of the value of the leads. Sorry, my iMac's just slightly dimmed. Let me just bring up the lighting by moving my mouse, like that. And once you have those numbers, you can then start to say, okay, well, I know therefore every lead is worth X amount of dollars to me because I close 1 in 5, 1 in 10, whatever it is. And you can start to work out what's an acceptable amount to pay on all of your advertising costs, all your marketing costs, and stack them up against one another. What we find is that organic search marketing will be a lot lower as far as the cost per acquisition goes than, say, pay-per-click, AdWords, any of those sorts of things. And the reason for this is that every time you add a piece of content to your website, that's another opportunity for you to rank. The more people that hit your or find you via organic ranking, the costs go down because you have higher volumes, and therefore your close rate should increase because your traffic is more targeted. With pay-per-click, your costs are always going to go up, always, because it's always going to cost you money when someone clicks on your ad. That's not the case with organic. So hopefully that explains something for you. If you've got any questions during the week, just shoot them through. We'll answer them. And thank you for all the lovely compliments on last week's video. And remember, if you know of anybody that is in the Melbourne fishing video business, just point them in my direction because I've got a ranking I can sell them. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.